Well, I think the first half we didn't start that well. They started a lot more, I suppose, a lot quicker than us. We played the balls were pretty slow, and theirs were pretty quick. So they outdid us there, and we just paid for our mistakes in the first half. Their first 2 tries come off 6 against after drop bombs. They scored the third one when we had Cameron in the bin. So it was. They just started way better than us, and we're way behind the 8 ball at half time, obviously. But to be quite honest, I was really proud of the players in the second half. I thought we hung in really good. A couple of times there, we looked like we were getting on top. But having said that, their defence, and everyone's been talking about their defence, and they were outstanding tonight with their defence, and made it really hard for us to get back into the game, So, but I think, I just think our slow start, really hurt us in the end. I think it was physical. They just sort of got off the best. They probably, their first set was a good set, and then basically, we couldn't find any field position there for a fair while, to be quite honest. So, like I said, that they did that a whole heap better than us, and as I said, I think we paid for a real expensive price for our mistakes. And again, I think our completions tonight were about 65 or 66. Theirs were 85, and to be quite honest, I think that there lies a difference. They complete like that and defend like they defend. They're always going to be hard to beat, but they just got the jump on us. With those couple of tries. When we couldn't clean up bombs.
I saw you with Cooper at the end. You guys had a bit of embrace, so tell us what you said. Were you surprised when he played, or what was your reaction?
No, we always expected him to play. So, as I said, I know how tough he is and how competitive he is, and how hard he would work on that injury. And I don't really want to repeat, what I said to him, but he's. It was, you probably, the whole club's really happy for him probably, but they just beat us, so we're not that happy, I suppose. I don't know how you describe that, that emotion or that feeling, but he was such a huge part of us for 15 years. It's hard not to. I don't think I'd say happy for him, but at the end of the day, he's got great respect in our club, and he'll always be a part of us.
I think he ended up making 8 tackles. Did you try to get any more? Was it pleased to get any more?
If we could have hung onto the ball a bit more, we might have been able to get him a little bit more. That was. But he is such a very experienced defender, and he was quite good at getting out of the road too, or find the place. Wouldn't say to hide, but to get out of the road. So, but like I say, we just didn't have enough ball to get, to go chasing them. We had a certain plan we wanted to execute, and perhaps we could have put a bit more pressure on them if we had a bit more ball. Not a bit more ball, if we'd have controlled the ball a bit better. But having said that, I'm not sitting here saying that this should have happened or this could have happened or whatever. At the end of the day, they were just too good for us tonight. And, I don't think there's any more that I can say that can explain where we were at tonight.
How influential can 5 be for a control play? He looked like he was directing traffic. You were amazed that influential.
Well, they won the game, so I'm thinking he's fairly influential. So, but again, I don't know what they expected of him tonight as far as in the physical sense. I don't know, but obviously they seen it was very, very important that he's out there directing things. They wouldn't have played Coops, So that's probably a better question you can ask, Boyd and Trent, I'd imagine, and or Jakes. At the end of the day, what they thought he was going to bring to the game, even however severe that injury is. They obviously thought it was worthwhile putting him out there, and I don't know what the score would have been if he didn't play. I don't know. No one can answer that. But at the end of the day, they got the result they wanted, so you'd have to say they made the right decision.
Cam, how did you see his performance out there? Were you frustrated you couldn't get at him?
Oh, no, I wasn't frustrated that we couldn't get at him. I was frustrated that we didn't hold on to the football. And, like Craig said, he's an experienced player. He's played over 300 games, so he knows how not to be in the action, which he wasn't in a lot of it tonight. And, he was pretty much out there just guiding the team around. They essentially played with 12 players tonight, really. So it's a fair effort by them to win the game.
Cam, was it just a case of poor execution, drop ball, or did they particularly do well to sort of change sides?
Yeah, I think he he made himself hard to get at. Like I said, that's just an experience thing. Anyone that's played the game for as long as he has, knows or understands how to do that. But when there was times when we could get at him, they knew that they had to protect him, and they had plenty of numbers around him and helping him out. And as I said, he didn't really do a whole heap in the game tonight as far as any sort of tackles or touching the ball or running the ball or anything like that. But they knew that any time we got near him that they had to have a lot of numbers around him, and they did a really good job at it.
Craig, you guys played 20 minutes, 12 minutes as well, Cameron Munster, Sydney twice. What did you make of it, especially the second incident? Was that just frustration?
It wasn't overly smart, Again, I think that's what it would be. At the end of the day, it's Cameron's, to be quite honest, not that type of player. So obviously there was a lot of frustration there, and we certainly don't condone what he did. And I know he's very regretful about that. So the first one they can sort of go anyway, or might have stopped the trial. I ain't seen it the once. So, but as I said, he's not that sort of player, and it was probably a thing that came out of frustration and something that just happened off the top of his head.
Craig, is it something that Billy Slater's played his last game for the club?
Yeah, I think so. There's been a whole heap of talk about that, this week, especially before our game last week, and so it's really disappointing that we couldn't send him out, and a little bit better than that. But as I said, I was proud of the team the way they played the second half, in that their effort was tremendous after we sort of let ourselves down in the first half. So we're open, as I said, we're open to send Billy out on a bit better note. But as he said, I said that to him after the game. He just said, well, sometimes that's footy, and sometimes it is footy, sometimes that's life.
Cam, you're asking Phil again about the future. Since you have a contract, is there any update between there and 15 minutes?
No, it hasn't. No update, Reedy. Haven't it? I'll do that, mate. No worries. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't think, for me, it's not really a time or a moment to think about sort of my playing situation next year. I just obviously disappointed with the result tonight, and I just like to sort of, as an older player, just sit back and reflect on this season and what we have been able to achieve as a playing group. It's been a difficult year, no doubt about that for us. We've had to overcome a lot of challenges this year through various different things, but I think when you look back on those challenges and what we have overcome, I think it's a pretty special effort, really, to get to where we are tonight. So, as disappointing as it is tonight, I think we can all be proud of actually being here as one of the last two teams. We certainly weren't good enough tonight to win it. The Roosters were a far better football side. So that's really all I'm thinking about, mate. I'm just going to take a bit of time to put my feet up a little bit and enjoy the next few weeks with my family, and hopefully something's sorted out soon.
If you do go on, what's the drive? What's the challenge for you done everything in the game, mate?
Come back here next year and win. That's really all it's been. Every year I've turned up for my first day of pre-season, and even before I turn up first day of pre-season, I start thinking about the following year and thinking about what I want to achieve as a footballer, what I want to achieve as the captain of the club, and what I want the team to achieve as well. And it's always about playing well and being here on Grand Final night and trying to win it. So that's if I go on next year, that's what it'll be about.
Are you confident of getting a deal sorted next year, Cam?
Yeah, I'm not the money man. I don't really, talk to players about their contracts. I talk to them about, where they fit in the club and, where they fit in next year. So that's basically my area. And I don't think Cameron and myself need to have a conversation about that. He knows what I think of him, and he knows that I want him to go on, and he knows that he's such an important part of our club, and he's still got plenty in him as a player as well. So it'll be up to the hierarchy to sort that out. But as I said, probably more than anything else, I don't know, it's a tough thing about now, but more than anything else, I want him to be at our club, and as I said, I reckon there's a fair chance that he'll end up playing with his son if I think he's only about 10 or 11 years old. So, again, I've never seen a dip in Cameron's form. It's he's quite remarkable, and there's no secret why. He's hopefully going to be the first guy to play 400 games in our code.
If it doesn't work out, would you contemplate going on elsewhere?
Tough question.
It's a really tough question. I haven't thought about that, to be honest. Two things that really have crossed my mind, and I haven't thought about it in depth at all, is either play at Melbourne or I finish.
Cam, you were quite emotional last week talking about Billy Slater and obviously the last, what potentially would have been your last game. Craig sort of said something to him as a son. What are your emotions on that?
Yeah, I think it has. I think there's probably been a couple of moments this week about sort of where I've taken the time to realise that's the last time I'll do that with Billy, and we're in a captain's run here yesterday. It's the last time we'll ever train together, and getting on the bus to the game tonight, that's the last time I'll ever travel to a game together. It's sort of been taking those little moments in over the last few days, and it's been an emotional week, knowing that tonight's been coming, because Billy and I have been through a whole heap together. We've had a lot of good things happen in our lives with football and other outside of football. We've had some difficult times too with football, but I'm just very grateful that I got the opportunity to play my entire career with a person like Billy. He it's the things that he's been able to achieve on the football field and the things he's been able to do on the football field, you just sort of sit back and in awe of it. And but it goes further than football. You know, he and I are very close away from the footy field. Born on the same day, only an hour apart. And you know, just thinking yesterday after training, you know, I'm thinking about all the good things that I can think about on the footy field. He's been there right next to me, you know. So it's been a bit of a sort of a process over the last week or two, but you know, that was the sort of the closing chapter tonight, and unfortunately it didn't go to plan. But yeah, looking back at it, on the 17 years or 18 years that we've spent together, it's the good moments and the good memories far outweigh the bad.
Thanks,
Cam, were you a
everyone.
bit disappointed that he got booed so ferociously in his last game?
Yeah, I don't think there's really any other way to say that. He's only ever been someone or something good for our game, and I think he deserved a bit more respect than that.
Thank you.
What do you guys think?
Right, that.